Hello, and welcome to my application called Capitall. Capitall was built with a Rails backend, React on the front end, and using Redux for state management. Capitall also has the JSON Web Token for user authentication, which allows the user not having to sign in again as long as they are using the same browser and haven't signed out of their account. This app was designed for the user to have the ability to monitor their financial picture. So the user is able to track their financial activities such as their transactions, all of their accounts, whether it's a loan, credit card, or a checking savings account. They are able to set savings goals such as for a vacation or a new home, and they are also able to track their recurring bills. So this is the home page of Capitall. The user has the ability to sign in if they are an existing user, but we also have the sign up form right over here. We do require certain information from the user, so we cannot just create an empty account. We do have back-end validation set for this application throughout. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'd like to just jump into the sign-in account. So this is the home page of Capitall. As you can see, we have 5 panels here for transactions, accounts, budgets, goals, and bills. Well, let's just start from the top, starting with the nav bar. We have today's date in the top left corner, and here we have the ability to view the account information. If the user would like to edit the information, they can do so from right over here, which will take them to the update form, or they can delete the account altogether, but we're not going to do that just yet. So let's break it down one model at a time, starting with the transactions. The transactions here are sorted, but with the most recent date on top going down the line. So as you can see, the most recent transaction took place just a few days ago. But if I wanted to take a look at more of the detailed view of each transaction, I can dig into the transactions panel. The transactions panel gives us a little bit more information about the transaction, whether what category it's set with, if it's associated with a budget that I may have set, which account it's coming from, and if it's a transfer, I have the ability to associate it with an account that's receiving the transfer, and also if this transaction is associated with a goal and the amount. If I am looking for a particular transaction, I'm able to search by the description. If I'm looking for groceries, I can just type in with groceries, or I can take a look at and search for a particular sum amount. So for example, if I'm looking for something for $32, I'm able to do so, and it only will filter the results matching that search feature. I am also able to add a new transaction as such. And of course, all of this has back-end validations. So it's preventing the database from getting bad information. I am able to edit and delete each transaction as well. Each model, as we see here, has full CRUD capability, meaning that we can create, delete, update, and view. So let's jump over to the accounts. As you can see here, we have a calculation of the user's assets, liabilities, investments, and net worth. And I will touch upon what each of those entail in just one moment. Here we have a further breakdown of our accounts, whether the user wants to add their checking account, savings, credit cards, loans, anything of that nature would go into this section. We can add a new account if we'd like. We can edit the existing ones or delete them altogether. If I am only interested in looking up transactions that are coming out of my checking Chase account, I can click this button right here, and it will only provide me with the transactions that are coming out of my Chase account. Similarly, if I want to see something that's coming out of my savings account, I can click right here, and I only have a couple of transactions at this time coming out of my savings account. The pattern follows throughout the application. One last thing to note is that the assets associated with that we saw earlier are checking, savings, and cash accounts. Under liabilities, we have any credit card debt or loans or a potential mortgage. And then investments, of course, is the investments category. Next, let's jump over to one of the core functionalities of this application, which is the budgets. As you can see here, we have different color structure of our budgets. Anything under 80% of our budget at the current time will highlight in green. Anything between 80% to 100% will highlight in yellow. And any budget that we have exceeded, meaning anything that over 100%, will highlight in vibrant red. To take a further detailed view of each budget, we can take a jump into the budgets panel. So let's just jump into our first budget that we have set, which is the groceries budget. where we have $250 a month set for that particular month. So as you can see here, we are currently sitting at 83% of our budget. We have spent $208 and we have roughly $42 remaining. To the right-hand side, we have transactions associated with our budget only for the current month that we are in. So if I have something associated with this budget in the month of January of this year, it will not affect our budget that we see here. Similarly, the pattern follows throughout. Here we are at 64% of our budget. We spent 96 and we have about 54 remaining. And again, we have the transactions that are associated with this budget on the right-hand side. Anything that is spent over 100%, we see as such where we are at $504 spent, but our budget is set to $400 a month, meaning we are about $104 over budget. And as I mentioned before, we have full CRUD capability, so we can add a new budget, edit the existing ones, or delete them altogether. Next, we have our savings goals. So if a user would like to save some money for a potential vacation or save for a down payment on a house, they can track their activity and their saving activity in this part of the application. So let's take a deeper view here. So this current user is saving for a vacation. They would like to have $3,000 by May 1st of this year. And it looks like it's a 4-night trip to Arizona. So it looks like we have 67 days left and we have about just under $1,500 left to save. Let's take a closer look at this goal here. So it looks like we have saved currently $1,500, just over $1,500, and we still have about $1,400 left to save. As you can see here, we have 2 transactions that we have made, just transfers for this current goal. So that's where the money is coming from. And all of these transactions will highlight here that are associated with our goal. Similarly, we have our house down payment goal. Just a month later, we have about 98 days left. And we have 23,000 left to go. We can take a look at here. We are only 8%, so we still have quite a bit of way to go. If we do meet our goal, for example, we just didn't track it, but we do want to mark a goal complete, all we have to do is hit this complete button. We have a little celebration, and as you can see, the status of the goal has changed. So that wraps up our goals panel here. So now let's jump into our bills. So last but not least, we can take a look at our bills tracker. Our bills are sorted by the most urgent ones that need our attention. So as you can see here, our electrical bill has only 2 days left and it needs to be paid as soon as possible. The way this works is anything due in less than 3 days will be highlighted in red. Anything less than 7 days will have a warning orange. And anything that still has over a week of time left will be just in standard black. Once we jump into our bills panel, here we can take a look at a more detailed view of our bills. We do have an option to keep track of what bills are on autopay and which aren't. We can add a new bill, or we can edit an existing bill, or delete a bill altogether. If, for example, I go ahead and pay my electric bill today, I can jump into Capitall and mark it paid. All I have to do here is click this button, and now it's due on February 25th. If I click paid, it's going to move it to the next month. Since it's a reoccurring bill, I have to pay that bill every single month. So all I have to do is click that one button and it will move my bill to the next month. As we can see here, the electric bill isn't due for another 30 days. So that in a nutshell is my Capitall application. Thank you for watching.